Let's get you some breaking news, viewers. A strong message from New Delhi after China's comments on the detention of an Indian citizen from Arunachal Pradesh. The MEA spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal is now saying that the individual was traveling on a valid passport and was arbitrarily detained while transiting through Shanghai airport, reasserting that Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India. The MEA is saying that no amount of denial by China can change this reality, and India has taken up this matter firmly, saying that Chinese authorities have offered no explanation and have also violated international air travel conventions as well as their own 24-hour visa-free transit rules. In fact, I'm going across to my colleague Rishabh, who's joining us on the broadcast for this. Rishabh, at a time when it seemed like India and China are finally, improving their relations after what transpired in Galwan, now there seems to be a fresh face-off over the detention of an Indian citizen. Now, India hitting back strongly, saying that no matter what they say, Arunachal Pradesh is an integral and inalienable part of India.
Well, there are three parts to the reply that has come in from Ranveer Jaiswal, the spokesperson of External Affairs Ministry here in New Delhi. The first, that Arunachal Pradesh is an inalienable part of India, and whatever imagination that China has does not apply on ground. And this is something that India has time and again, pressed, and whenever there has been mischievous activities from Chinese side, India has maintained this stance. Number two, India confirmed that China has been rebuked and has been diplomatically conveyed that what happened at Shanghai International Airport was not correct, and there was a strong démarche handed over to Chinese side as well, both here in Delhi as well as in Beijing. The third that is coming out is very clear, that India has not received an explanation from China. So whatever Mao Ning, the spokesperson of the Chinese Foreign Ministry, say, India still wants an answer for what happened to the Indian national at Shanghai airport. So very clearly, India putting a firm ground here that whatever happened was wrong. Whatever China says, China can imagine whatever they want, but things does not change on ground.
Absolutely, Rishabh. So India raising it at the highest levels and demanding answers from China. But at the moment, the Chinese government is yet to respond directly to the Indian government on the questions that were put forth to the Chinese government. Thank you, Rishabh, for joining us on the broadcast and giving us those details. Viewers, we're talking about Pema Tongdok, who alleged that she was held for 18 hours by the Chinese immigration officials after they refused to accept her Indian passport. Now, she's saying that because her passport listed her birthplace as Arunachal Pradesh, the officials claimed that the state belonged to China and declared her passport invalid. And that is why they claim to have detained her for almost the entire day. And not just that, the woman Pema also says that the airline staff mocked her and even told her to apply for a Chinese passport instead. In response to this incident, Pema has now written to the center urging the government to take up the matter with the Chinese government, which they have now. And also the Indian government is seeking answers from the Chinese government on what exactly led to this. Pema is also asking for a compensation for her financial losses after missing a flight, and also wants assurances that such an incident will not happen again.
You've spoken about your entire ordeal. You were told how you were detained for 18 hours. What exactly happened? How did it begin?
Thank you for having me on Times Now. So basically, I had a holiday planned from London to Japan. On the 20th of November is when I took my flight from London Gatwick, with a transit of 3 hours in Shanghai. And typically, because I'm an avid traveler, I do travel quite a lot, and I actually work in the financial services industry in the UK. So I work in regulation, so I know how important laws and regulations are, and obviously I made sure that I knew that I was traveling within the realms and the rules of Chinese immigration. And specifically because I had taken this exact same route last year on the 16th of October. I had called the Chinese embassy in London before my journey previously, and they said as long as you are transiting, it's okay for you to transit on an Indian passport. There shouldn't be an issue. And I did successfully transit in Shanghai last year. So this year, basically, as soon as I passed the E-gates and got queued up for the security check. One of the immigration officers came out to me, singled me out of the queue, took me to the immigration counter desk and started saying to me things like pointing at my passport and Arunachal, saying this is not a valid passport. Arunachal is part of China and Indian document is invalid. So, which was quite shocking for me because obviously I've always been an Indian national. She even made remarks like, apply for a Chinese passport. You're not part of India. You're from Arunachal. Arunachal is part of China. Now, obviously, that's a very derogatory and harassing comment because they know for a 3-hour flight.
And viewers, this has also sparked off a political slugfest here in India because the Congress is now taking pot shots at the Prime Minister, claiming that this incident occurred because the Prime Minister is weak. They're also saying that he cannot take a firm stand on matters related to China.
When we have a weak Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister is not ready to speak strongly to the Chinese, this will only happen. Mr. Modi is only showing 56-inch chest to some poor people, not to the Chinese.
Serious concern. China has been trying to do this for a long period of time, and these little tricks of China won't help. And I would urge the Chinese that please get matured. You have accepted the old McMahon line for a very long period of time. In many senses, you know that Arunachal Pradesh is a completely integral part of India, and you will not get even an inch of that space. So China just has to get out of this nonsense that it does.
Rajnath Singh, Defense Minister, and they speak, I don't know, out of the blue, or as if they are doing theater, that 18 hours, Arunachal origin, Indian of course, was detained at Shanghai airport, and finally it has been also declared by authority of China that it's not valid passport. So already they have altered the border of the India.